Hey, what's up? This is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints, and in this episode, I talked to Charlie McKenna from Lillie's Q in Chicago, Illinois. Super excited. We talk about his restaurants in Chicago. We talk about his product lines. We talk about his history, and like many people, he didn't start specifically in barbecue. He was in fine dining and then moved towards the barbecue restaurant. Just a wealth of knowledge, so interesting. Deep history in Chicago as well as the competition circuit. I know you're gonna love this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But enjoy this. Good morning, Charlie. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
What's your day look like today?
Today, pretty mellow. Just in the restaurant. So going through emails, walking around, testing the food, doing all that sort of thing. So
Doing a thing like this in the morning.
yeah, doing interviews in the morning. Uh,
uh, so is are you when you say the restaurant? Are you at the main Lily's Coup?
yeah, we call the one in Bucktown in Chicago,
Yeah.
like the mothership. So
Okay.
that's sort of where everything stems from. That's where our offices are for the products company. That's where our offices are for all of our ventures. I'm in that location right now.
Okay. Cool. Well, what's your background? Because I know that you went to CIA, but what's
Yeah.
did you were you always did you grow up in Chicago? Did you grow up in Illinois?
No, I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
Uh, so originally, what I really got into was fine dining. So I went to the Culinary Institute of America in New York, and then from there I went to work for great chefs in New York, Miami, and Chicago, all super high-end, three-star Michelin, two-star Michelin
Oh.
type places. So really spent most of my chef years doing that. I got into barbecue because obviously from the South, me and my father were always into it. And then we started cooking competitions so that we could meet up on weekends and see each other. Me and my dad are really close.
And his name is in the actual name of your restaurant,
Yeah.
right?
So Lily's Q is it's kind of a three-part pronged story. Lillie is my grandmother from Greenville, South Carolina. She's the one that had me in the kitchen when I was younger, learning biscuits and gravy, country ham, really getting
Oh.
involved with the Southern lifestyle and the Southern family. She was a grandmother that cooked everything. All our family meals were at home. So she kind of spurred my interest into cooking. So that's sort of why I named it after her. The Q obviously stands for barbecue. It also stands for my dad's name, Keto.
Okay.
So he goes by Quito. It was a nickname that was given to him when he was about 5 years old because he lived in Mexico for a little bit
Oh.
um, with his father who was in textiles. And, so it's kind of an homage to those two plus, the word barbecue.
Wow. That worked out perfect.
Kind of laid it right in.
Yeah, so did you guys do what competitions were you and were you under the name Lily's Q when you guys were doing your competition?
Yeah. So we changed. We didn't start with Lily's Q. We started with some other names, and then we, kind of migrated to that once we really got the idea for the restaurants
Yeah.
going. So we've cooked under a couple different names throughout the things, but most of the years recently have all been under Lily's Q. We obviously cook the Memphis BBQ Network circuit,
Okay.
which is the whole hog, whole shoulder, rib category. We used to do anywhere from 5 to 15 of those a year.
That's a good amount.
Now, yeah, it used to be a ton of work, right? So now we just do Memphis in May normally,
Okay.
unless there's some special event that comes up.
Wow. And 2 years ago you won first place for whole hog, right? I mean, pork shoulder, right? Pork shoulder.
Yeah, we won in 2007, and we won in 2016.
Oh yeah, 2007. I forgot about
We've always done really well on the circuit. We've always been, hopefully considered one of the better teams. When we first started, we were terrible, right?
that. What were you cooking on back then?
It's like everyone else. Oh God, when we first started, I think we were cooking on a Pits and Spits from Texas.
Hmm.
I don't think it had anything to do with the pit. It was more our style. I think we weren't down with obviously I was a chef, so I was kind of trying to include some of that stuff in there. And when you go to barbecue competitions, it's a lot of just like, hey, let's cook traditional style barbecue from each region. And but yeah, over the years we continued to evolve and change things, and it kind of grew into something that we did pretty well at.
And you were thinking along the lines of, I'd like to have a restaurant someday. Were you thinking I want to have a barbecue restaurant or just a fine dining restaurant?
Yeah. So the funny story is like I created all the rubs and sauces that you see in retail now for the barbecue team because we would go from region to region.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted the judges to taste what they were familiar with because the judges are normally near that center or where we're getting judged at,
For
city
sure.
we're in. I think what happened was I was in 2008. I was talking to some investors about opening a more fine dining Southern restaurant in Chicago because that's where I was at the time. Well, everyone knows what happened then. The investors pulled out, so we had bought a barbecue restaurant in Destin, Florida, and my dad runs that one day to day. And after that, they pulled out. I started thinking, well, how could I bring barbecue to Chicago and do it in a little bit more upscale manner than what the throwaways and the sit downs, something for the Chicago market, basically. So that's how we kind of spurred the barbecue restaurant. So I always wanted to do a restaurant, not specifically a barbecue restaurant, but after we won Memphis and then opened the one in Destin, it kind of turned into a business.
Is the one in Destin, is it similar at all menu wise?
Not really. So the one in Destin is a typical shack, right? It's just a walk-up window with a patio. There's no indoor seating.
Okay.
That one, it has like cold sides, baked beans because you can hold them in a warmer, and then just the straight barbecue. Here in Chicago, we do appetizers, fried pickles and hush puppies, and we do a table burger. Then we go into the barbecue section. We also have a fried chicken section on the menu at the time right now. This one also has a full bar where we don't have any beverages. We have Cokes and stuff in Destin, but no liquor.
Okay.
A full bar with draft lines and all that stuff. So this is more of the full service restaurant where that's kind of the quick service model.
Okay, interesting. And now you have three more, or one, two, three. You have four total in Illinois, right? In Chicago, essentially.
We do three more kind of the quick service model. One is in a train station where the suburb trains come in, and then two of them are in the United Center where the Bulls and Blackhawks play.
Gotcha. And then, what was the reception at the beginning when you first opened? Were people gravitating towards that style? And I know that was Smoke open at the time?
Smoke was open, so they were kind of the originator of doing better barbecue on the north side of Chicago, or different barbecue, let's say, than the south side does.
The traditional,
traditional rib tips, aquarium, smoker, whatnot. Smoke kind of brought a Texas feel because their main meat item was brisket, and they're really good at it. We kind of brought the Carolina style, so we didn't do brisket. We did tri-tip because my dad was in the military and he was stationed in California for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
So we brought tri-tip here, and then we also brought more of the pork shoulder, whole hog, ribs, pork ribs, baby backs, kind of a blend between Carolina and Memphis.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think people, they gravitated to it well. I mean, I think they really enjoyed it. It was probably a style that they weren't used to as much. And we had a good receiving in the community, and I think people, still really enjoy the restaurants.
Yeah, from the get-go, I remember hearing about it, and then I know that it got a lot of great write-ups, and then
Food and Wine named us best new barbecue in the country. We got a decent amount of other write-ups. We were doing something that I think most people hadn't seen yet because no one really had combined barbecue with an upscale environment.
No.
We were probably one of the first ones probably in the country, I think, that was trying to do that.
I think you were, for sure.
So I think, people love barbecue, but in Chicago you have that, I don't want to say snobby, but the foodies, right, of the world, they want to sit in a nice environment. They want to have cocktails and they want to have the whole experience. So that's kind of what we tried to bring them with the style of food of barbecue.
You were matching the diner, like the food to the diner that Chicago has. And that's ideal. Did you create your sauces? I know you had your sauces for competition, but when did you start bottling that? When did that little empire begin?
So I kind of bottled it. I bottled it before, and I was just trying to get them out and selling. But I knew when we opened the restaurants that people would hopefully want to take one home, that they enjoyed it enough that they would take it home. So we started bottling mainly out of the one in Bucktown that I'm sitting in the basement in 2010. Mainly it was bottled just because I thought people would buy it, from the restaurant. And then,
which happens a lot.
And then, a small grocery store in the neighborhood, the kind of neighborhood grocery store, came to us and said, "Hey, we'd like to carry your sauce." And I'm like, "Well, how much do you think you're going to need?" He's like, "A case of each, maybe a week or something." I'm like, "All right, great. Here you go." And then a distributor came, and then we, another distributor, and then, people started seeing it, these small grocery stores in Chicago. Then it just kind of domino effect.
And how many did you have at that time?
How many stores?
No, how many different sauces?
Oh,
you didn't have all those. Oh, you had all 6 at the beginning? Oh, okay.
We had 6 since the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even ENC was at the beginning too?
Well, that one probably came 6 months to a year afterwards, after the opening of the restaurant. Just because we started working on that flavor just because I knew it was a prominent flavor that I really enjoy that flavor. So
Yeah. And what are those 6, just so people know? I'll put links to everything, and I'm gonna have a companion blog piece with it, so that way. 'Cause I think it's interesting, and people see them on the shelves and probably maybe don't necessarily tie it to you.
Yeah, we our packaging is really minimalistic, and we don't really prominently put out Lillie's Q on there. It's more about the flavors and the look. So the two Memphis style sauces are smoky and hot smoky, which are sweet and have a little smoke to them. Hot smoky just has more heat behind it at the end, a little more cayenne kick. Then we go into what we call Carolina, which is our Western North Carolina sauce. So that has a tomato vinegar base. Then we go into E&C, which is Eastern North Carolina. That has a straight vinegar and spice, which has some heat behind it as well. We go into Gold, which is our South Carolina mustard sauce, my favorite, obviously what I grew up with.
Yeah.
People are usually, their favorite usually is what is closest to what they were eating since they were a kid.
Oh, for sure.
And then after Gold, we go into Ivory, which is our Northern Alabama white sauce, basically.
That's so great. And people will be surprised. I think isn't there a store locator too that people can do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put a link to that.
Go to a store locator, and it's not always exactly up to date, but we try to keep it up to date as possible. We're actually working on a new website to kind of make it more efficient, but we're in 6,000 grocery stores across the country now. With at least probably 3 flavors and those to 4, maybe sometimes 6.
I saw last night. I saw all 6 at Pavilions, Vaughn's Pavilions.
Oh yeah, Vaughn's Pavilion
over here in Los Angeles. I was like, oh, okay. It was just kind of funny that I was talking to you today, but I had seen it.
Yeah, they're a good customer of ours. California is really one of our growing markets because they've never been like, California is a tough market, right? They they enjoy their own style food, so even American barbecue has never really hugely taken off there. I think in the recent years it's starting to. So
I think people get really excited about things in California, then move on to the next thing they're really excited about. Yeah, it's sad. It's
right. Like, hey, this is the next thing. Yeah, there's the next thing. So.
and then the people keep offering the next thing. That's the problem. And people keep moving here, and changing things. I wish we don't have like a rich. We have obviously like the tri-tip, like the Santa Maria style, but that rich tradition, it's still kind of moving. I think a lot of people are importing the Central Texas style now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Central Texas right now is huge everywhere. I think, with the beautiful moist brisket and all that stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Are you doing Memphis in May this year?
We are. Yes. So that's one contest we'll always do. That one for me is, I love to compete and I love to try and cook against the best and try and win. But more, it's just the camaraderie of seeing the people that you haven't seen in a year, or, you don't cook on the circuit as much anymore, so you don't see them. And then 3 of my buddies come down with me just to help me out. So that's just us partying for, 5 days basically.
Yeah, so, what does that entail? What people that might not know, what does that entail? It is roughly 4 to 5 days. Is that what it is?
Well, our trailer has to be in on Monday.
Okay.
The contest you actually don't start cooking meat until Friday morning. Wow. So from Monday till Friday, I'm in Memphis, just sort of hanging out and, seeing people that we haven't seen and having fun, right?
Oh, that's cool. That's such a great. I need to go sometime. I've just heard great things, and it sounds like something like there's obviously rich history, but you guys have a history amongst other teams. And
there's people that we've been cooking with or against for 15 years probably. So you've built up a relationship, and their kids and when they're graduating and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to see all those people every now and again. So it's great, and the barbecue business as well.
Do you have a specific spot that you're at that are next to the same guys? And
so
people want to go see.
Obviously the contest is in Tom Lee Park, which is on the Mississippi River. Mm-hmm. Our booth is always facing the river on the shoulder end. Okay. And usually we're next to Big Bob Gibson. Okay. So we're usually either right next door or someone's right between us. Recently, Peg Leg Porker, who's a friend of ours, has been between. So it's usually us 3 just sitting in a row facing the river.
You and Carrie and Chris.
Yeah. Just hanging out, drinking beers and, cooking barbecue, which is fun.
And Carrie's causing trouble, right?
Oh, God. That guy, he loves his karaoke, right? So he's always, he's got his trailer with a TV that has the words, and he's got a loudspeaker with a microphone that he's walking around singing on. It gets pretty common. Especially after a couple beers he has, it's like, or he's drinking his own bourbon. Once he starts drinking his own bourbon, it's like, oh my God. guess.
Yeah, even like I've heard that this is like the third person to mention that. I think Ray Lampy said that, and then I think someone else said that that's the first. I think actually Ray didn't like him at the beginning. Like Carrie and Ray were at
Yeah.
odds like the first year because he's like kept him up all night. And Carrie loves the fact that he kept him up all night.
Yeah, Kerry really likes to drop a few back, which is great. It's great for me. It's great to be next to because it's like it's entertainment for us.
Oh, yeah,
We don't
for
have
sure.
to turn on our TVs or anything. We just watch their trailer and listen to people sing karaoke
That's awesome.
pretty badly.
So you have a fried chicken restaurant too now, right? Or a shack
Yeah,
there?
so it's sort of it's part of Lily's Q in Bucktown. So we carved out the front of the restaurant
Oh,
and we made it like a takeout window.
oh, cool.
So we do delivery, we do takeout, and then we also serve it in the restaurant as well.
Okay, is it a specific style?
So we do an original Southern fried chicken, but we also offer 3 different kind of flavor profiles. One being the original, 2 being Nashville hot, and then the
Nice.
third one is a Carolina style where we actually take our E&C sauce and drizzle that on the chicken.
Oh wow. Which one? Which ones take? Is there one that's more popular?
I would say right now probably original or Nashville hot. Nashville hot's hot everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You
That's
start,
what I.
when you see big brands like KFC starting to do stuff, it's more than a trend. It's actually something that is going off. But
That is true.
and that chicken style is so good. Like I love spicy stuff, so I think right now even in Chicago, there's a couple places that have opened that are doing just Nashville chicken. So I think that's probably the most popular right now.
And it's funny too because people like here in Los Angeles, people wait up to 3 hours at Howlin' Ray's for their chicken, but people say like for a sandwich, but then you eat it, and then you realize like the endorphin, there's something special about that kind of heat, and it's a different type of heat.
Yeah, it is a different type of heat. It definitely gives you endorphins, right?
Yeah.
People, if some place gets hot, right, they'll wait forever
Mm-hmm.
for things, which is, I'm a no wait person. I don't like to wait at all. Probably because I'm in the food business, so I'm like, I'll come back when it's not as busy. But great for them that they can get a line going. And
Do you travel around for barbecue at all? Or when you travel, do you go to Texas at all, or do you get a chance to?
So I was just in Austin recently, and ate kind of the whole thing. Went to Snow's, Franklin's, Law Barbecue, all those places, which were all phenomenal. I don't necessarily travel for barbecue, but if there's a place that has notoriety in the city, then I'll definitely try it out or go test it out with some friends or whatever.
Oh, cool. Well, I want to wrap it up by saying, like, what does barbecue mean to you? Like, what is that? Like, could you have imagined that it would be what it is today?
Yeah, I mean, barbecue to me it kind of relates back to family and friends and camaraderie, closeness, fun, excitement, right? All those things kind of describe it for me, just because that's what's always been around a barbecue. So when I'm cooking, it's either one of those groups of people that's hanging out with me, which is always, a great time and fun. I never ever thought I would be cooking barbecue at this stage. If you would ask me 15, 20 years ago when I was doing fine dining, I'd be like, I love barbecue, but I doubt I'll be cooking it. But, it's really turned into something that it's a restaurant group and a group of people that, unlike chefs who are a little bit more competitive, we all kind of help each other out and talk to each other, and tell people, how do you, what we're doing and how we can help each other. And I love that aspect of the barbecue community. And I love to support other people. I was just in Australia cooking at a restaurant down there.
Oh, really? Which one?
Fancy Hanks in Melbourne.
Okay.
We did, American barbecue is huge down there. We did a pop-up down there. So we were there for 3 days. We cooked for around 500 people. Guests came through. Now I'm trying to get those guys to come back over and see, the Chicago market.
That would be great.
Which, Chicago has Smoke and us and a couple other people that are doing really, really good things. So I just love the aspect that, the camaraderie around barbecue. And I think it's great.
Yeah, and that's the one that's like the common thread is that it's not as secretive. A lot of people think there's these secret recipes, and people do. There's little bits, but it just feels like someone could contact you, and I was able to contact you to set up this interview. There's in other areas of the chef world, you couldn't reach out. It would take like years to get a hold of somebody.
They just wouldn't be cool enough to even email back, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's minor secrets that people hold, a little dear that they think are secret, but for the most part, I'm willing to share anything. I kind of think of it as like, Tiger Woods can teach you to hit a golf ball, but you still got to go play against him, right?
You're not going to be Tiger Woods. Yeah, exactly.
Right? So it's like, I can tell you exactly how I cook things, but until you actually cook on your cooker over hundreds of cooks, it's still something that's a little bit more nuanced, and you really need to know, and have experience, right? To do it.
Yeah, for sure. And people can also, I was looking, people can order your pork shoulder too, right? You do ship
Yeah,
it.
you can get our Memphis and May style, the same way we cook it at Memphis and the same way we cook it in restaurants with the same rubs. It's on our website. You can order our pork. It comes with a bottle. You can order bottles of sauce. So, you can get the whole package. It comes in a 3-pound package, which, approximately feeds, 12 to 15 people. So it's a good thing for any type of sporting event or Super Bowl or any of those house parties you're having. Plus, it heats up in 30 minutes, so it's easy.
Oh, that's great. That's easy. And I want to start a series of ordering barbecue for online and shipping it and having friends over and doing like filming it, because I think that's something that people don't realize that they can do, and it's really cool. And it gives me a chance to eat the barbecue.
I mean, if you can't get to the city, obviously it's not going to be as good as eating it fresh in the restaurant. But for most part, a lot of barbecues, I know the Shed does it. We do it. A couple places in Memphis do it. North Carolina, Sam Jones and those guys ship their stuff. Texas. I mean, you can get all these guys barbecue. And if you live in LA, you can have a chance to eat, maybe not their top quality, but right underneath it. Which is always great for consumers and, people. And then next time when you get in that city, you'll know, hey, I need to check this place out.
Exactly. And then get the whole experience. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much. Is there anything else that I missed that maybe people don't know about you?
No, I mean, I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to seeing the interview when it posts. And thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. And then when I come to Chicago, there's a lot of places I want to see. I want to see the old aquarium styles, but I'll probably go to 2 or 3 of your restaurants as well.
Yeah, my first experience was down at Uncle John's, and there was like a bulletproof window with a slider down there. But the food, the sausages, and the rib tips and all that was phenomenal. So it's definitely an experience that if you're into barbecue, you should hit some north side places, and you should definitely get to the south side. They got some good different style barbecue going on down there.
And I was talking to Steve Zielinski, and he said that he does without sauce or sauce on the side. Is that how you do it there, or do you put it?
Yeah. I go everywhere sauce on the side. That's one of the reasons we put our 6 sauces on the table, is because most of the time I want you to eat the meat first, at least have a bite without sauce, right? Try the meat first and taste the meat and the smoke and what the pitmaster did. Then you can sauce all you want after you kind of get a taste of what the meat was.
I agree. No, that's a great tip, and I think that's for like across the board, because a lot of places too, like there are certain places that their sauce is what they are. Like that's
That's their thing.
I think even Alabama style, like Chris Lee, I think they don't they dunk the chicken in the sauce. So
they dunk the chicken in the ivory and then send it. But the other ones, definitely try the meat first, and then you can start playing with their sauces and whatever.
For sure. Well, awesome. Well, have a great day. Have a nice rest of your week.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much. Take care.